guys, it's Melissa here from melissaopen.com. If you are seeing me today, I thought I would jump on and do a reading. If you have a loved one who has passed on, I'm going to pull some cards from the Talking to Heaven deck by James Van Praagh to give you some messages that might give you a little hope or help you to heal. I lost my mother to cancer 2 years ago, and it was a very painful journey. In fact, I just released my new book, Beautiful Mourning, and it's spelled mourning, Mourning. And in that book, I talk about what happened when we lost my mom, how she got sick, what our journey was like dealing with this illness, and ultimately dealing with her death. Grief is messy, and it's such a difficult journey. My hope in writing that book was to help other people get through it with more grace and ease. I know that a lot of people don't want to process their grief, and unfortunately, when you do that, you get stuck. And when we get stuck in our grief and we don't process those emotions, we sometimes end up self-sabotaging. We end up coping with that loss in very unhealthy ways, whether you're drinking or smoking or in unhealthy relationships. There's a lot of ways that can manifest, and I talk about that in my book. It's really, really important to process the grief in a healthy way. Not only that, but if you don't process your emotions, they become stuck in your body and make you sick. So if you're on this grief journey, I am here with you. You are not alone. It is so painful. It can be so devastating to lose a loved one. So I'm going to do this reading for you, but if you need help getting through this journey, my book, Beautiful Mourning, is available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and also on Apple Books. So I highly encourage you to go and check it out, because my hope in writing it was to help people move through grief and not get stuck in one of the stages of it. So if you've lost someone and you want to think about them right now, we're going to pull some messages and see what they would like you to know. Okay, they're very talkative today. So the very first card coming out is I have no more earthly worries. That's a really wonderful thing, especially because I know with my mom, she was struggling and in a lot of pain towards the end. And so to know that she does not have that pain anymore and has no struggle is really, really important. I'm with the rest of the family. They're also greeted by their crossed over loved ones. And that's also comforting to me, because my mom lost her mom a year before she died, and she was so distraught over losing her mother. So to know that they're reunited is great. And then I am sorry, please forgive me. One of the important steps in the grief process is to do forgiveness work if you think you need to. I know that when we were in this grief group, there was a woman who lost someone, and she had hung up on him the night before because she wasn't happy with the way he was living his life, and she felt so guilty. And I have a whole chapter on guilt, because that's one of the stages of grief. She felt so guilty about it. And one of the things you have to understand is that's a human emotion here, and we have to forgive ourselves and let go, because they're not holding on to that, but we are. And they can see the whole picture here on earth. We can't. So we need to forgive ourselves for what we think we should or shouldn't have done. I had to leave that way. So maybe the death was sudden, maybe it was tragic. They had to leave that way. We don't understand it now. We'll understand it eventually. But grief teaches us something. There's a lesson that we learned in the loss, and that's hard to understand. But as you read through my book, I teach you how to learn what that lesson might be. Then we have I'm standing right next to you. They are always around us, still very much a part of our lives. When there are celebrations going on, they're always there. So it's wonderful to know that they're still looking out for us. Now I have no pain. That always comforts me, because I know how much pain my mom was in. I will always point you in the right direction. So some of them are guiding you. Maybe look for signs. Maybe they send animals. I know cardinals and butterflies are a big sign from my mom a lot. So look for signs all around you. Sometimes they'll drop feathers or coins. And maybe you have a specific sign that you told them to send you, or maybe there was something when they were alive. I know my mom loved Patsy Cline, and she used to sing Crazy all the time. She said that she used to sing it. She sang it more than Patsy Cline did in her life. And when my daughter was driving home one night, she had Spotify on, and my daughter does not listen to country music at all, especially not in 1950s country or whatever year that came out. and Crazy started playing on her Spotify account. So that was like a little nod and wave to her to say, hey, I'm fine. It's beautiful where I am. Exactly. They are fine. You know, the thing about grief is we're grieving for our loss, but we should really be celebrating for where they are. It's hard because we cannot see that in all of our pain. They don't want us to dwell on the way they left. They want us to rejoice for them. But again, that's a really hard thing to do because we're the ones sitting here left in the void, in pain and living without them. But if you could just shift your perspective just a little bit, and I talk about this in the book, to know that it's a celebration for them. It's their homecoming. We have, my death was painless. Please don't worry or hold on to guilt. Yeah, you know, even if your loved one died in some tragic way, once that soul leaves the body, they don't remember the pain or whatever else was happening. You need to let that go too, because it's nothing to them anymore. They don't hold on to that. So we need to remember how they were in life and the good things and not dwell on their passing or the bad things that happen. And then tears cleanse the soul. Some of you need to cry. You need to mourn. You need to get that out. Crying is not a sign of weakness. And if you don't get it out, if you stuff it down, it's going to come out in really bad times, awkward moments. It just does. And you don't want to be in public when you have a complete and total meltdown. I mean, it's fine if you do, but it's so much better to be able to process your grief privately and not out in public. So that's why it's important to process those emotions. Again, if you're in public and something reminds you, that's okay too. I'm banned from going to my doctor's office because when I saw that she was my contact for my emergency contact on her form, I started bawling. And not really. They were very kind, but it was embarrassing. That'll happen. You're going to have triggers. Those things come up. Seeing their name on a Netflix account. Those things will happen. My hope in writing Beautiful Mourning was that you could work through your grief in a healthy way so that those things don't happen as often. So when you see their name or you hear this or see that, you smile and fondly remember what they were to you in your life. I hope that this helps you. I hope that you know your loved ones are still always around you. They're celebrating with you. Many of them are guiding you. So be open to the signs that come in. Know how much they love you. And if you would like to order Beautiful Mourning to try to get through this grief process just a little bit easier, again, it's available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Apple Books. Sending you guys lots of love. Hope you have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.